Hello. Well, I'm over here at the garage and I'm working on something that needs to get done. And it would be this right here. The old 460 heads. They kind of took a little bit of a turn for the worse on me. Because what had happened, I had lost one of my valves. And I don't know what happened to it. So I found this old fella. This one says Ford on it. And it's going to have to be good enough. That's one of them deals where I'm a little upset about it, but how do you say it? It is what it is. This old fella rusted all up on me after having them machined and had a real nice finish. I've been, getting them right back where they were before. They were good enough, all clean, to go on the vehicle, and after they sit for a few months, they take a 10 on getting rusty again. So that's what I'm doing here. But as I walk around the garage here, I noticed this. These are the engines we got from my cousin Richie. And every time I walk by these engines, I cannot help but think, and it amazes me how you take something like this right here and go 9 seconds in a quarter mile with it. And there she is. That's what that was right there. Had rust in the cylinders more than one time. We had to take sandpaper and everything we could think of to clean them cylinders up, and they were pretty bad. And to think that thing is still running after all this time, 5-6 years later. And to top it off, the engine was so full of water because we got it back from somebody that had it, that didn't want it, and they left it outside because they happen to be what you call LS guys. Yeah. So they asked us if we wanted our engine back, and we said sure. And we got it home, took the plug out of the pan, and all you saw was water for 15 minutes. And I'm not kidding you. You would think I'm exaggerating if I told you how long that drained. Had a few witnesses here that witnessed that for themselves. But I want to show you guys, people want to talk about their products. A few Mopar guys got on here and said some things a while back, and they talk about Fords and badger them up and all that kind of stuff. And that used to be a Chevy Ford thing, but I don't know what's going on with these young guys with the Mopars, because what happens is this. Guys from back in my day could take a small block Mopar and go 10 seconds with it. But if you watch any of these guys on YouTube that have a channel that everybody follows, that thinks they're wonderful, guys have cars called like Bottle Rocket and Bottle Dud and Slug Hammer, and a few other guys that have their little shirts that say, "I'd rather push a Mopar than drive a Ford." Well, I don't think that's the case. I think if you had to push your Mopar on a 100-degree day and somebody pulled up with a Ford and offered to tow you, I think you might change your mind. But every time I walk by these little engines here, I think about this stuff. When's the last time you saw any of these guys that brag their other products up take a engine like this here with the stock heads like this small and go 9 seconds with it? And you'll say, yeah, but that's not nitrous, Terry. Okay. What about 10s on motor? And that was in this car right here. So it's no secret. So anyway, I just wanted to do this little video. I walk by this stuff and I just think about how some of these people get on YouTube and talk about all this stuff, and I keep quiet about the Ford stuff because people think I'm just a Ford guy. I've had Mopars, Chevys, Fords, Oldsmobiles, Pontiacs. I've had more GM cars than I have Fords, so this is not a biased thing. This is just something I'm going to say. I've never seen anything do more for cubic inches than this right here. Forget about the LS, guys. Don't bring that into play. I'm talking about old school stuff, 350, 318. And here's another thing. I got to look at you when I say this stuff. Every time you see somebody compare herself to a 302, why does they always have to have 400 cubic inches or 350 cubic inches, or it has to be some cubed out engine? And I will say this, anybody who has a Mopar that's going pretty fast, guess what they have? A bunch of money in it, about that much. All rebuilt, aftermarket heads, aluminum, and half the guys are in the 11s with them. Whoop-de-doo. Whoop-de-doo. I'm proud of you guys. Guys back in my day went 10 seconds with the stock heads done up and things like that. And it's a whole different element when you have old school guys doing stuff. And I don't know why you guys can't take a pair of aluminum heads and get enough power out of them to run 10 seconds on a small block Mopar. I'm so sick of hearing what a disadvantage they are. The disadvantage they are to me was with how much money it took just for headers and things like that. That's the reason I got away from them. I was starting to do a Dart back in the day. I wanted the big block in it. Why should I do that when I'm dusting guys off with a 289 to have 440s? So you can take that and stick it in your hat and do what you want with it. This is truth. This is plain facts, things I've been through my whole life with people, badgering the Ford stuff. And I will say that. I will say this. Them guys that talk that kind of garbage, that has never had a Ford, and you talk that nonsense, at least I've had the things that I've talked about. I've had good and bad luck with certain vehicles, but one thing I don't do, you don't hear me beat them up too often. I might tell you one's better than the other, but I don't dislike somebody because they drive a different product than a Ford or whatever the case may be. I have a few debates with people, my friends, you know, but it's never an ugly thing. But these guys on YouTube, they want to turn this into some kind of thing. I thought about going to one of these races they had, and one of the guys said on there, oh, there's going to be Fords there? I got to pull 2 plug wires off of my Mopar then. Yeah, go ahead and try that. You might need 2 more cylinders on top of that 500 cubic inch engine you have there to beat a little 302 with ported E7 heads. These guys talk the stuff, talk nonsense. Barely, they're 11-second cars, most of them. And they talk this garbage. And it seems like the more they talk, the more aggravated I get, because they just talk. There's nothing to back up anything they say. But anyway, I'm busy here. As you can see, I just get very aggravated about this. I had one of my YouTube buddies say, Terry, could you do a video about this? I have a few 302 Fords, Boss engine. Yeah, Boss engine is probably worth more matching numbers than probably a lot of these guys' whole car. So nothing against any of my Mopar buddies, because I have a lot of them. My best friend's a Mopar guy, but guess what? He speaks the truth. Oh, guess another thing about him, my friend John. He knows how to go 10 seconds with a 360. Not cubed out. Using the X heads, 509 cam, dual plane intake. Yep. Oh, with a tire about that wide on the back, street tire. So when you guys want to start running that yapper, you might want to think about somebody that has something out there that maybe could give you a run for your money. And especially when you say, hey Terry, when are you going to join the crowd and jump on the bandwagon with the Mopars? Why would I do that when the guy telling me that has 500 cubic inches, has been no faster than that without the blower on it? Does that make any sense to anybody? Sorry about the shaking camera here. I have a little bad arm here, and I've been doing all this hard work here, and it's hard for me to hold this. So I'm going to let you guys go. I just thought I'd bring that up to date. I hope this video don't get people too upset, but you know what I noticed? Nobody has they don't have a way of caring about they upset somebody else. That's why I get mad and do these kind of videos. I don't like being derogatory, picking one brand over the other, because I've had them, like I said. But when my YouTube buddies have to say, hey Terry, could you say something about that? Because he sees you guys badgering the Fords on all these Mopar channels. Why don't you guys knock it off a little bit? You never had a Ford, or if you work on a Ford and you're lost on it, like this guy I saw the other day trying to work on a 390. Yeah, it's the timing chain. He said he never saw a timing chain jump. The last time the guy shut the car off, went out there to start, and it wouldn't start. But it seemed like it's out of time. I never seen that happen before. Yeah, that's when that does happen. When back in the day you have a motor that had compression, a lot of times they dieseled, and because people ran cheap gas in them, and they usually had 10.5 to 1, not 11 to 1 compression. Some of these old school 1960s and early 70 engines, and that's when the timing chain would jump, because you shut the engine off, and sometimes it would kick back. Sometimes you could say, go, you ever hear them do that? That's usually when they blow the timing chain. Anyway, guys, it looks like this thing's all jumpy. I'll see if I still load this up or not. But anyway, I appreciate you watching and checking me out. And I gotta get back to work. God bless you.